Hello everybody and welcome back to Mastering Avantra. Today's topic is how to upgrade your existing Avantra installation to our new release 21.11. So let's go ahead and get started. So here I have my standard Avantra system, and if I pop into the About section, you'll see I'm running version 20.11.0 or 20.11.6 for the master and the UI. So let me show you what systems are configured here. So if I pop into my servers, you'll see I have two servers configured. I have the server I'm operating on at the moment, which is running my Avantra master server, and I have an SAP system called SID NPL. Both of these are running Agent 20.11.7, and so I'm going to upgrade the master server to 21.11, and I'm also going to upgrade these agents as well. So if I pop over to my terminal window, I'm now logged into the master server, so gdev rdma master. And if I do an ls-la, you can see a few things. So this is where my master server is installed, it's where my UI is installed, and also it's where I have an agent installed on the box as well. You'll also see for the sake of brevity on this one, I've downloaded the agent bin file and the server bin file ahead of time. But if you do need to download these, you can go to downloads.avantra.com. So the first thing you might say is, okay, we'll execute the agent update and the master update, but that's not the order I'm going to do things in. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this agent file into the agent update folder. Now this is a nice shortcut for you to know. If you drop the agent updater in here, it will appear within your master server as an update you can push out to your agents. So in this case, I used a curl command to download the agent installer from our download site. And now I'm just going to drop it into the agent update rather than uploading it through the UI. So I'm going to move the agent 21.11 update into the agent update folder like that. So now we're down to just one file to take care of, which is our Avantra server. Now you'll see here it's currently not executable. So I'm going to do that first. So chmod +x Avantra server executable. And now that it's executable, and let's just make sure, oh yeah, nice and green, ready to go. I'm now, just going to clear the screen for the sake of clarity, I'm now going to execute it just like this. So now what the Avantra installer is doing is it's checking what system is currently present in this box. Do I need to do a fresh install or am I doing an upgrade? And of course, in this case, it's doing an upgrade. So it's going to uncompress itself, it's going to figure out whether it has a compatible Java, and we do recommend Java 8 at the moment, and it kicks off the update. So you can see here it's first doing the master update, and that'll be done in a couple of seconds, just like that. And then it's going to move on to the update of the Xandria GUI, as it's called in a code name, but this is your Avantra Web UI. So now it's doing that update, and while it's doing that update, it's temporarily brought down the server, and we should be back up within about 60 seconds. So typically with an in-place upgrade, you're looking at somewhere between 30 and 60, maybe to 90 seconds, depending on the speed of your server, depending on what needs to be moved around where, but it's a pretty seamless and easy in-place upgrade of your Avantra master server. So once our Avantra master is back up and running, all our agents will reconnect as they always have, and they'll work because agents are backwards compatible for the Avantra master server. And then we'll start to push out the agent updates on a case-by-case basis, or perhaps to a group of servers at the exact same time. So the master is done, so that's completed, and now the UI is being updated. So while the UI is being updated, the master is now coming back up to make sure that systems can connect to it pretty quickly. Again, really lowering the amount of time that your server is unavailable to the majority of your network. And that's it. So you can now see that the in-place upgrade from Avantra 20.x is now completed to 21.11.0. And you get this nice Avantra UI secure URL is now available. So let me pop back over here. And you can see here that my UI, while it's still here, isn't actually doing anything. It's saying the master status is not running. Now, when you do a refresh first, you're probably going to get something like this, which says error connection refused, depending on the browser that you're using. And this is because the UI service actually hasn't come back up yet in its entirety. So I'm just going to do a quick ss-tln to see what ports are currently listening on my box. So I've got SSH, I've got my Postgres server, one I don't recognize. I have another SSH on IPv6, another Postgres on IPv6, and I've got 2 agents running on this particular machine. So what I don't see here is port 9050 or my 8443, which is where my Avantra UI is. So those services haven't fully restarted yet. Okay, now we can see that 8443 has come back up, and in a few moments we should also see 9050 being added to that list as well once the master server comes back up. So let's go back here. Oh, there we go. So we now have our Avantra 21.11 logon screen. You'll see it's slightly different to what we've seen before, and I'll do my logon. And we should be brought straight back into our Avantra UI. Now the master server is still coming back up. It's taking its time, but let's do a quick check to see how we're doing from a version standpoint. So we can see here that the database is now at 21.11.0. Our master hasn't come back up yet, so it's still showing as 20.11.6, but it'll be up in a few moments. And our Avantra UI is 21.11. So this master state is not running should disappear over the next few minutes. Let's just give it a couple of seconds and see. Okay, so I can see here that the port 9050 is now starting to listen. Okay, went straight for the IPv6 one. I'm sure it'll pop up there in the IPv4 very shortly. And actually our master service not running has now disappeared from here. So let's do a check here on the about, and there we go. So now our database, our master, and our UI are now all showing running 21.11.0. So now if we pop back into our systems, we can see that our 2 systems are up and running. The agents have connected, and you can see that checks have been occurring in the background. Again, reminding us that we have this agent architecture, right? Which means that even when the master server is temporarily unavailable for the 2 or 3 minutes that it takes to do this upgrade, your agent is still collecting data and waiting patiently to send that back to the master server, so you don't end up with gaps in your data. And you can see here that, you know, the agent connect has worked here, so we're back up and running. Everything has connected in the way it should. But now I want to go ahead and I want to upgrade these agents to 21.11. So we go into administration and into agent updates, and under packages, you'll now see the agent-2111.0.bin that we pushed into that folder earlier, which was just, it stopped us having to do the manual upload here and having to go and select files, etc., etc. So it was just a little bit faster. So let's go ahead and update the agent on the master server itself, and I'll show you how that works. So I'm just going to do the master server on its own for the moment, and we'll start that update. So you'll see here that it's successfully sent the command, and if you double click, you can start to watch exactly what's happening as it goes through the agent update process. So it downloads the agent installer, 119 megs, it unpacks it, it prepares it, it stops the existing agents. So you'll see the stopping system daemon, and then you'll see it start to go into a waiting status while it waits for the updated agent to actually restart and complete the update. So waiting for 10 seconds. So this is a pretty simple agent update process, and you know what? I'm going to kick off the other system as well while I'm at it. Why not do the second one? So we'll start the update, and so we'll get that one working away as well while this one's completing. So this one's nearly done. So it's done the synchronization of its files, it's done a backup, it's now starting the agent, and in a couple of seconds we should start seeing it saying, hey, listen, there we go. Agent was successfully updated from version 20.11.7 to 21.11.0. And let's have a look at our other system. So our other system is currently in the stopping status, and so it's stopping the existing agent, it's doing the update, and we should start to see that coming through. And when you pop back over to servers, now this is worth pointing out. So immediately we don't see the 2111 listed as the agent for this machine, and that's purely because it's restarting itself, it's starting to go through its check cycle, and it hasn't sent its own update back to the master server yet. But this, there we go, it's already updated. It's a 21.11.0. Do an update here. There it is, so that one's done. Let's check out our other machine. So I think it's actually completed. Yeah, agent was successfully updated. Pop back into the server, and in a couple of seconds we should start to see this second SID NPL do its update to 21.11.0 as well. So we'll give that a couple of seconds. There we go, 21.11.0, 21.11.0. So there we go. So what we've done is we've just updated our master server from 20.x, it doesn't matter what version, to 21.11 in just a couple of minutes. We also then pushed out automated agent updates to our remote agents on a couple of boxes to bring them up to the latest version as well. Again, Avantra updates are really designed to be seamless, to be easy, and to run with minimal downtime for your landscape and for your agents. And that's what we've gone through today. I hope you enjoyed that. Any questions, leave them in the comments below or raise a support ticket at support.avantra.com. See you next time.